Hey friends, it is Lacey J, and you are listening to Hey Lacey J, the podcast. Oh my gosh, that's so fun to say. One day we'll have a real intro, but until then, this is what we are working with. But we're going to go ahead and dive right in because this morning I had a download for this particular episode after doing or during the meditation that I do with Joe Dispenza. It's called Tuning into Your New Potential. And when I tell you that has completely shifted parts of my life, it has completely shifted parts of my life. I call him Joseph and everyone laughs at me, but he just doesn't know me yet. So we're on a one-to-one, we're on a name-to-name basis. Like, hey, Joseph, what's up? I don't even know if he likes to go by that. Anyways, download. That's why I love getting up early, getting my meditation in, seeing what's coming through and what we're going to talk about. And today, we are talking about if it costs you your peace, it's not worth it. So it's funny that this came up because I don't think I've seen this quote in years, but I remember this quote like yesterday. I remember the first time I read this quote, it was during a time in my life that I was making some sort of decision. I felt crazy, probably because everyone's saying, this is the decision you should make. And I'm like, but I want to make this decision. And what it came down to is that if the decision that I'm about to make is going to cost me my peace, it's not worth it. So I remember making a pretty big decision. Actually, I know exactly what it was. I had to make the decision of letting go of one of my, 25 network marketing businesses that I've been in. It was time to let it go. One, I no longer aligned with how the company was going. I couldn't keep sharing something that I didn't fully love because things had switched. Now, hindsight, it's crazy that I made that decision because a couple months later, Emery was life flighted, and there was a whole time of just she needed my attention, and being able to let that business go allowed me that time to not even think about anything else except for my daughter. So it's so cool when you can look back at that. But the idea that I'm going with is that I'm sure you know the feeling when you have made that wrong decision, when you did not make the decision that was going to give you peace. How did you feel? For me, it is this feeling of I am being eaten from the inside out. I'm being eaten alive. Like, I can't stop thinking about it. It's completely stressing me out. I made the wrong decision versus when I've made a decision that feels really good and it was intentional, and I just feel totally at peace, even though it might be hard to have the conversation. After having the conversation, you're like, okay, well, I feel so much peace about it because I know I'm making the right choice. For so long, though, I would sit in circles of, oh my gosh, I'm going to make the wrong decision. I felt so stuck. I questioned everything because I had no idea what was the right decision. I had zero trust in myself, which just comes from conditioning from years in church. And that's a conversation for another time. But I know what it feels like to feel stuck. I know what that's like, and not sure which direction to go, whether that's in parenting, relationships, your business, life decisions. And there is something so powerful when you can go within and trust that still small voice inside that's saying, hey, this is what you need to do, even though it may be the road less traveled, even though the world is shouting and people in your life are shouting at you to do one thing. You have this whisper, you have this nudge to go a different direction, and it might not make sense. But when you make that decision and it creates that peace, that overwhelming peace that comes over you. You know how empowering that can feel because you listened to what you needed to do, not what everyone else wanted you to do. That is your intuition. And the idea is that my heart is to have women learn to trust that more and more and to listen to it, because it has completely changed my life. There was a point in my life where I couldn't even go to a restaurant and order off a menu because I was struck with, I was freezing. Well, I'm always freezing in restaurants, but I was frozen in fear that I would be making the wrong decisions. Friends, this is a restaurant. Okay? It's food. It's not that big of a deal. But if I'm having a hard time making a decision on which meal to eat, then how the heck am I supposed to make decisions for bigger things in my life? And that is truly where I am beyond grateful that human design came into my life. When it comes to human design and your intuition, we actually call that your authority. That's the official name within human design. And the coolest part, and what I learned and what I'm going to share just right now, we're not going to dive into authorities too much, but it's this, it's that it actually shows up differently for everyone. Everyone hears it a little differently, and it really depends on which energy type that you are. And so the coolest part is when you actually tune into how your intuition works with your energy type, which I have a freebie that you can download that talks about your energy type. That is going to be a game changer, because you are not trying to listen to an intuition in a way that speaks to you when reality that's probably not very loud, right? So a lot of people are like, I don't know, I just get this tiny little ding and it's there. And where others are like, I don't get that at all. I have to ride, 24 hours of full blown emotions. You're on your high, you're on your low, and then you come to a neutral place, and then you're going to be able to make that decision. Hi, it's me. I'm an emotional authority, and man, it really helped to understand that. But I think really what the download was for this particular podcast is this idea that we also have something called a signature. Each type has one. And so if you're a manifester, you are going to have the signature of peace. If you're a manifesting generator, you are going to have the signature of satisfaction, projector, success, reflector, surprise. And these are signs that you are on your right path, right? As you listen and understand your authority and you start moving in a new direction, you're able to trust yourself. You're also going to have these little signposts that say, hi, yeah, you're doing a really good job. This is your sign, like keep going. We also have something called the not self theme where, people feel anger and they feel bitterness, and these are their not self themes saying you are going down the wrong road. Like stop and really reflect on what's happening. But the thing that I'm most excited to share with you is that this is why I actually created a 90-minute self-discovery one-on-one call with me, because my heart is to help you to understand, yes, your human design, your authority. Let's bring that in. Let's help you understand what that means so that you can take that understanding and we can find clarity around the area that you are wanting to chat about within this call. And the coolest part about this, and what I keep saying as I dive into the coaching world, is I don't have all the answers. I wish I had a copy and paste blueprint that I could say, here you go. Like, so simple, life's so simple, but we are human and we are intricate and we are not all built the same. And the coolest part about this 90-minute self-discovery call is that I am going to put the power back into your hands. I am going to guide you and I'm going to cheer you on and I'm going to give you tools depending on what you need for this session so that you can get clarity, tools that you can work on at home. And yes, we can talk through. But the most exciting part is that you are going to have the power put back into your hands for making a decision that's for you. Friends, I tell you, the world is a noisy place. Okay? If you don't trust yourself and and decisions that you need to make for your business, for your family, for relationships that you're getting into, like if you don't trust yourself, how are you going to decide what is right for you, who is right for you, which direction to go, when to say yes, when to say no? I just feel like these 90-minute self-discovery calls are going to be so powerful, especially for those who want to gain clarity on something that's going on in their life. We can literally take whatever it is. We're going to talk about your human design. We're going to get into it. We're going to give you tools. You have access to me for 48 hours afterwards for any follow-up questions, mainly for my emotionals who are like, I'm going to need 24 hours to process the call that I just had with you. So I wanted to be able to be available afterwards so you have time to do the homework, the practices that I give you, take that time, and then still have time to chat with me afterwards so that you feel really good about the direction that you are going. So I'm just so excited to announce that. It's going to be so fun. This is something that I'm so passionate about. It is actually one thing that has held me back from coaching was this idea that, well, I don't want people to have to rely on me. Like, I don't have all the answers. Like, I'm human. I mess up all the time. And then once human design came into my life, I'm like, wait a minute. I get to guide women and feeling empowered, taking their power back, and truly trusting who they are and their gifts and their talents. So if you are interested in learning more about your energy type, if human design is new to you, download the guide. It's a free guide that I am going to put in the show notes. Gives you an intro into your energy type just so you can understand, like, what is she talking about? Learn about it, see if it feels fitting to you. And then if you're actually ready to just work together, go ahead and book a one-on-one with me. That way we can work together to help you get unstuck and truly just becoming this woman that you were created to be. So thank you. I'm so excited you're here. Ooh, thanks for just being a part of all of this launch, new website. This might even be further down the road. Check the show notes for what's to come because I do have a lot in my mind that I am starting to create. I know I have a couple ebooks and playbooks and different things that I have that will always be updated in the show notes. So I hope you have such a fantastic day. Go out there, go crush it. I freaking love you.